Hello everybody, Cassie Anderson here, celebrating 2 months of being free of topical steroids. I recently made a 1-month video at that milestone, and so now I'm just going to give you some updates on how I've been doing and some things that I've been tweaking and what works for me now. So basically I'm on all the same vitamins that I was then. I do have a list of vitamins on my website, which I'll leave at the end of this video. The meds that I've been on have been low-dose naltrexone, which is it's a prescription, but it's a natural way for your body to boost endorphins and to allow your body to heal itself naturally. I was on just 4.5 milligrams at night, and now I've added a small dose, 1.5 milligrams in the mornings, and that seems to be helping with the soreness and everything, and the rash was starting to spread, but it's actually been a little bit more under control now. I'm also taking Hydroxyzine, which is Atarax antihistamine. I have a low dose and a high dose that the doctor gave me to take, and I can take it up to 4 times a day if I want. And really, I'm doing so well that I'm only taking the lower dose right before bed, and that's it. So I was also on Doxepin, which is a sleeping aid. It wasn't really doing a whole lot for me that I thought, so this last week I kind of took myself off, so I'm just kind of experimenting with that. And I still seem to be getting the same amount of sleep, or lack thereof, because it's hit or miss sometimes. So yeah, I'm just basically on those 2 meds. And then I have another med that I just recently added over the next 6 weeks because I have unfortunately developed a stomach ulcer in the meantime. The doctors and pharmacists and nutritionists and everybody that I've asked, experts, they really have concluded that it's just the reason for the ulcer is because my body's just under a lot of stress right now. So I'm dealing with that. Last week it was, I could feel it every day. And then it went away for a few days, and today it's been showing up again. So anyways, I'm on ranitidine for 6 weeks. Hopefully that'll heal in good time, and I'll be better in no time. So another thing that I've added this month has been light therapy. And on the ITSAN.org, International Topical Steroid Addiction Network.org, it does have some tips of light therapy typically doesn't work in the early stages of topical steroid withdrawal, but is more helpful in the later stages. So you'll just have to talk to your doctor about that. I feel like I'm having a pretty mild withdrawal compared to a lot of other stories out there. And my doctor just wants to try this out for a couple months, and I've been on it this is probably about my 3rd week with phototherapy, and I really haven't seen anything adverse happening, any adverse side effects, so I'm sticking with it for a while just to see what happens. And basically she said it would help with the inflammation and helping the lesions so that hopefully it will prevent more open sore lesions throughout this withdrawal. I'm also a big I still love Epsom salt baths. I've been taking them since the very beginning. I usually soak every morning for about an hour and a half. And my doctor, I asked her about skin infections, and even infections in the nail beds with just scratching. And, she said bleach baths help prevent that. So she wanted me to take bleach baths twice a week, but I don't want to be in bleach any more than I have to, so we compromised, and instead I'm doing apple cider vinegar with Mother. I like Bragg's vinegar. I do that twice a week instead of the bleach. So what I do is I basically always have a salt bath, but twice a week at the end of the bath, I usually for the last 20 minutes or so, or the 20 or 30 minutes, I will soak in the vinegar. Once all the salt has dissolved and everything. But I do have to say I've had a little bit more open wounds and maybe a little bit more ooze lately, so not like a ton, but enough to scare me into at least taking a bleach bath this week. So I decided that once a month I'll go ahead and do a bleach bath just to kill some other things on my skin. But really, the apple cider vinegar should be plenty. And the other thing about the vinegar is that it's closer to the pH of the skin, of your natural pH, whereas the bleach will just strip everything, all the good and bad bacteria off. So yeah, I'm just cautious of that because I want to keep the good flora that I have. So yeah, I do still use the Vaseline and oil mixture. I prefer 60% Vaseline, 40% mineral oil. I'm not crazy about putting petrochemicals on my skin, but it's for a time, and I am not interested in moisture withdrawal, and I can't seem to use anything else other than the Vaseline oil mixture. Other than zinc cream has been going all right for me, particularly when I get itchy or oozy. I'll just put some more zinc on, and that tends to help. But the Vaseline mixture just kind of keeps my skin lubricated enough to keep me going all day. And I use lots of ice packs still, particularly when my skin is really hot to the touch, obviously for inflammation, or when it gets really itchy. Usually the cold will help kill the itch right on the spot. Last month I had leggings on my arms. This month I have actual arm sleeves. It's nice because it's another added layer of protection, which is good, because most people run into things or brush up against things every day and they don't notice. But during TSW, and you can see I already have a couple places I've bumped into, my skin is just super tender right now, super sensitive. So this at least helps me feel like a normal person because I don't feel as much, but obviously there's still some sores underneath. So yeah, and something just as simple as even a hair on my skin will just really irritate, will really hurt. And then the other thing is that seams in clothing. I can feel every seam, so that's really odd. But yeah, my skin a lot of times might feel like a bad sunburn. So yeah, so I mean when it's open sores and everything, obviously, I mean you can tell it hurts, it's not terrible, it's not in too much pain, but there's even, like, my backside isn't rashy at all, and I went and last week I noticed whenever I scratched it, it was like really bad sunburn, like it would just sting, it would just kind of stay a little while. So yeah, I don't even need a rashy spot to make it hurt. But it's not terrible. Everything is still manageable at this point, for me at least. And I started sleeping on the couch. That's another thing that's different. It's just been the last couple days, but it seems to be a little too hot in bed with my husband. He definitely is a furnace, and with my skin, it feels like it's on fire all the time at night. My cold packs weren't really staying very cold anymore. Even my 8-hour ice packs, they tend to turn instantly warm when I'm trying to cool off at night. So I decided to leave my husband. Poor guy, but we knew what was coming. We knew that that's what TSW can do. But yeah, I've been sleeping on the couch. Everything's going a lot better. I seem to be less fidgety because, first of all, I'm not as hot, and my cold packs actually stay cold. But I'm not as worried that I'm keeping my husband up either, so I have a little bit more peace of mind. When I go to bed at night, I tend to have this little routine of gathering the Vaseline, some eye drops, because my being in the antihistamines, it kind of dries me out. So I can't even open up my eyes in the middle of the night if I don't have eye drops nearby. And they're just re-wetting drops, nothing prescription. So I usually have the Vaseline, the eye drops, and some ice packs. That's kind of my go-to. I gather it all up. I'm ready to tuck myself in. Usually about 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning is when I will wake up, and my skin just seems to be a little extra dry and sore, so that's when I just slather on a little bit more Vaseline, and then I'm able to go back to bed, and usually without a problem. So I think that's about all I have to say for now. Well, I guess I should give you an update just rash-wise. My arms have pretty much been the same since the first month. Nothing's really progressed too much. I do have some red spots on my lower body now, but nothing that really is irritated or open wound like this. They're just red blotchy spots. So hopefully it won't progress to anything too much worse. But if it does, at least I know what to expect if it's going to be anything like my arms. So yeah, that's really my update. Thank you to everybody who's been praying, and obviously your prayers are working, and I am just so in awe of God for just allowing us grace during this withdrawal to be as mild of a reaction so far as it is. So I hope things continue to go this well throughout the whole thing, but who knows. We'll just take it a day at a time and see what happens. But regardless, I'm one day closer to better. So got to keep a positive attitude about it. So anyways, I hope everybody out there watching is having a good day, and I will catch up with you again next month. Bye.